Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by saying, call Allah, Yabashim Yahshai, Barakakadash, Yabashim Yahshai, Bashim Kakadash, Barakatham. Double honors to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. This is Rob Amoff with the Nebraska camp. This is GMS, any push to the mark. Through prayers and supplications, I pray that we all make it to the Passat. If we don't get out here any sooner, but hey, we know we got prophecies that got to come to pass, so that's how it's going to go, But I, just continue to push out the prayers because we know Satan is in the midst, and I also pray for the sifting, man, and it's almost no need to pray for that because a lot of these niggas is choosing sides and marking themselves. That's a different lesson for a different time. I wanted to go over just being in his faith and being in his walk and understanding. Just because we repented doesn't mean that there's nothing of to work on. Repentance means to pretty much to turn back. Or turn away from your penalties. Turn away from your sin. To turn away from sin. Meaning back, and pent goes back to penal. Okay? There's other definitions, and the Zondervan Bible Dictionary gives a really good definition, and the etymology in itself breaks down the word to, re meaning back, and pent goes back to the word penal, which the word penal goes back to penalty. Okay? But just because we turn away and we're acknowledging that the Bible is the way, that the scriptures is the way, doesn't mean that we're living and walking in that same truth. We're in the flesh, and as the scriptures say, no man is born without sin, meaning what? Just because you repent don't mean that you're not doing shit, but since we're under grace and through the blood of Yahushua, we have the ability to work on ourselves as also multitasking, doing the work of the Lord. Okay? Now, one thing that makes it difficult for people to understand the transition is that you can think that because you repented that you good. And that's a core Christian mentality, to think because you saved that you good. You can still go to nightclubs. Well, ain't nothing wrong with going to nightclubs, but like using this world is not abusing it type of mentality. But if you are using your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, you all into the world. You know what I'm saying? As well as bad habits, as well as things, because we all grew up into this Babylon, and as the scriptures say, the Lord made man upright, but he sought out many inventions, and that's pretty much the ideas and the concepts of Esau. From pork to feminism to hood niggas to, whatever thing there's just so many splinter cell groups out here, or splinter groups in the world, just like high school, you had jocks and emos and all. Like Jake grew up in certain societies, and through those foundations, Jake created principles. Because a lot of us, Jake's, as the Lord said, he chose the low to confound the wise. A lot of us Israelites come from the hood, man, and a lot of things like not snitching and all that. Hey, we snitching on everybody there through the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to put off the old man. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get that precept. So once we go into stock here. Okay, well, I looked it up. All right. Yeah, we go into Ephesians 4:22. The point is 4:22. I really want to. I'll start at 17. It says, "This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind." And through the Spirit, I want to get that. The vanity of their mind. That sticks out to me through the Spirit, So we're going to go to Ephesians chapter 4 in the blue letter, okay? And you can look up the etymology, because we got to get into words. We got to, when you're in this truth, you got to take your time. You have to take your time and work on yourself. The Lord will give you enough time. You have enough time because he controls time. So there's no need to rush or play games, That's just a side note, nothing like, it's not a decree, like I got that right to do so. But so we go into Ephesians 4:17, and I'll start off with the NLT, but I really came here to get the etymology or the lexicon for it. It said, "This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their minds." It says, "With the Lord's authority I say this, live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused." Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. So when you go into that word vanity, we know vanity means empty. Okay. It says, "What is devoid of truth and appropriateness?" Wow. What is devoid of truth and appropriateness? Perverseness, depravity, frailty, want of vigor. So when we go to vigor, okay, let's see what that is. Vigor, physical strength, energy, and activity. Be lively, flourish, thrive, to be strong, be lively. So vigor is pretty much, to show, to display your dignity, or establish your dignity, or try to maintain your dignity. And oftentimes within this truth, based off this lesson, we have to work on ourselves. As the scriptures say, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. And when you go into the word examine, it pretty much means to scrutinize. Okay, so when you go into the word scrutinize, all right, the word scrutinize goes back to observe or investigate closely. But if you have if your mind is in a dignified, proud mindset, when you're looking at yourself, you ain't gonna do nothing but try to justify what you're doing. And the best way to clear out the flesh from the spirit, or separate, because sometimes you can think you're right and think what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing, and you really just being a nigga, you know what I'm saying? And Satan just getting a hold of you, manipulating you mentally, because your true desires are on yourself, and it's not in a good way. Okay, so we are scrutinizing. What are we scrutinizing? We're scrutinizing. The whole point is, what foundation we building on? What's our purpose? What's our goal? Our foundation is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? So the men of the Lord that walk around, not can say walk around, the men of the Lord that walked around, that the books that we read about, they are examples for us to live in and also to learn from. Okay? As well as our goal and our purpose. Like, what are we trying to do? We're trying to get the hell up out of here. How do you get the hell up out of here? You go into Revelation 21, it tells you. You go into Titus, it tells you, like effeminate, extortioners, he that overcometh. It tells you, it gives you the layout. This is not only used to get on videos and cut people that don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not justifying these niggas, because a nigga is a nigga. All right? A nigga, and even, I'm going to say it straight out, a nigga is a nigga whether he's in the truth or out the truth. All right? If you're stealing, you're a thief whether you're in the truth or out the truth. It's even more worse when you're in the truth, because you know you shouldn't be doing it. Okay? But sin is sin. So there's no exoneration. There's no license to sin. All right? Just because you know, right? So with that being said, we have to constantly be in a scrutinizing, self-examining mentality. And some may say, "Oh, you're negative, or you're this, you're that." That's an emotional, beast-like mentality. Because I always say, You have to squat to jump. Okay? You have to do push-ups to get stronger. And a simple saying as it goes, no pain, no gain. If you do not have a purpose and a goal, then the immediate pain is what you're going to be living off of. Okay? Life got its ups and downs. And if you're living in the moment with no goal, no purpose, them ups and downs will be affecting you. Okay? But when you have a purpose of getting salvation and something happens with your family, you're going to keep pressing forward. You lose your job or get another job or fall into financial distress. You're going to keep pressing forward because you're focused on your goal. That's why the Lord said, let our eyes be single. But as you're focusing on that goal, you're going to be walking this path, this where you can't go to the left or the right to go to that city. While you're walking on this path, there's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things you have to overcome and get past. But if you can't, the main person that will not allow you to get past things is ourselves. Okay? So let's get this as an example. Okay? We're going to go into 1 John 2:16. It says, for all that is in the world, Slakia. I'm going to 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, okay, is not of the Father, but is of the world. I want to see what that pride of life goes back to as well. Okay, let's get that real quick. The Spirit, man. 1 John. All right. Let's see here. So when you said, love not the world, neither things in the world, let's see here, get to the pride of life, verse 16. So I'm going to read again, I'm going to do the same process, NLT, and then we're going to go into the etymology. It says, for the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. And when you get in this truth, that can be a pride of your achievement and your possessions. And as I did a lesson earlier, this is not our possession. This is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's thing. So when we're teaching, it ain't about us. Get your slacking, my dog tripping. Go to kennel. So there through that pride of life, that pride of your possessions. And it can make you defensive. It can make you not want to examine. It can make you think that you got it together because whatever you got together, that's what you're thriving off of. If you know a breakdown, you're going to act like you know everything when you don't know other breakdowns. Or you may do something good. You may be a person that can talk straightforward, but you're emotional. But you just, I'm going to keep it real. But you're an emotional person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not scrutinizing. And one of the examples I can give of a perfect example of scrutiny for me is when Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman first fought, right? And we all know what happened with that fight. That's when he got knocked out in a dramatic fashion, right? And when his dad got on, or I think it was his dad or his trainer, got on the interview, and he said straight out the gate, I don't like how he was eating those leg kicks. I do not like how he was eating those leg kicks. What happened? Even in victory, the biggest victory you can get, beating a pound for pound best MMA fighter at that time in a dramatic fashion. And the father says, I don't like how he was eating those leg kicks. A proud person that's dealing with the pride of life and says, how you gonna talk about me and I won, I got the belt. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. He went back to the drawing board and worked on checking those leg kicks. And then the next fight, what happened? He checked that leg kick and broke his leg. That's a perfect example of, even in victory, you're scrutinizing. So that's, and this is the thing. Some people don't want to go through that pain. You want to avoid it, so you start protecting, and then you start living and dwelling off what you have. You know what I'm saying? Instead of constantly, chopping through that path that nobody takes. Okay, and I'm not talking about going against the grain. I'm talking about doing it the hard way. Okay, everybody wants the interstate, but the Lord said you got to go through this path. It says, wide is the gate that leadeth unto destruction, man. Okay, wide and fast. It's all downhill. Right? You don't got to do nothing. Right? That's why it's not that many men in the Lord here. That's why it's not that, even within that, it's not many people that are advancing themselves as fast. You know what I'm saying? The numbers go down and down. That's why you got elders. That's why it's like fewer elders and heads and captains, and it dwindles down, and there's more numbers. At the bottom, there's no. It ain't no bottom really. We all are working for the same penny, but brothers know. Our brothers understand what I'm saying, and because we all, man, I have a thumb to all the brothers, but we are human. The Spirit of the Lord is dealing with us. What's the difference, outside of what the Lord's given us? It's us. How much you study, how much you can be corrected. You know what I'm saying? If you automatically responding with something, or you don't want to tell anybody that you don't know something, or don't know how to do something, or you're struggling with something, or you're worried about things, and the pride of life, and I know I've been in the truth for such years, so I don't want to ask this question. I'm going to look like I don't know. Who gives a damn what people think about you? What's our goal? To get the hell up out of here. So if somebody point at you and laughing because you're doing something, it don't matter when you have succeeded the goal. Okay? It don't matter. Just like a boxer running, man. And he getting ready for a fight. He running out in the middle of the street. Everybody, look at this nigga. He running. I remember I was getting ready for a fight my first time. I'm running. My cousin seen me running. You okay? You know what I'm saying? But when they seen that video, and they like that part, right? But nobody was with me when I was running, right? So that's the thing. When it comes down to this ministry, come down to this walk in this ministry, a lot of this, that no pain, no gain thing, the bulk of that is on your own. That examining yourself, whether you be in the truth, the bulk of that is on your own. But the Lord ain't gonna leave you by yourself. He give you prophets. He give you angels. He give you things. He'll come to you. Somebody walk up to you and say, hey, you should stop doing that, or you need to start doing this. Did you think about doing this? Or, hey, man, that's great. I like it. And it'll give you a context clue of what the Lord is saying, But I don't want to drag on about that. So it says, so we go into, and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father. So we, like I said, I want to go into the word pride of life. Okay. See here. So you can go to the pride. It says empty braggart talk, and insolent and empty assurance, which trusts in its own power and resources, and shamefully despise and violate divine laws and human rights, and impious and empty presumption which trusts in the stability of earthly things. You know what I'm saying? And most people just trust on what they know. That's why it's hard for Jake to learn new things, because you think what you know is the shit, your possession, what you think you're possessing. That's why you can never get better. You're just going to be a Ben Simmons. Yeah, I made it in the league. I play bad. But you ain't no, you should strive to be the best. Don't, the Lord don't deal with C plus guys. He want everybody to give it all they got. When you come to serve the Lord, put forth all thy strength, right? Not when you come to serve the Lord, I'm signed up. I'm the man now. No. Okay. Especially when you got examples. You got elders, apostles, and brothers just going crazy. That's inspiration every day to improve and get better as a man of the Lord. So when situations come up where somebody's trying to tell you something, and you over talking them, things bad are happening in your life, and you just keep on making excuses, blaming on Babylon, blaming on a nigga woman, blaming on it. Look, If somebody beat, like I tell brothers in camp, I'm not saying that inciting violence. I said, but as a fighter's mentality in boxing, if somebody beat my ass and it was because I was drinking that day or earlier that day, and I said, man, I was just because I was drinking. Well, I need to stop drinking, man. If I can't do both, if I'm going, it's either I'm going to stop drinking or stop boxing. Either two, if it's affecting me, right? As the scripture says, go not in the way thou shouldest fall. And if you fall, that is not beautiful, but it is beautiful in a way because you can see something in you that you can fix. But if you're living in pride and vainglory, you're gonna run away from that pain, that failure, that affliction. And you're gonna go to your comfort zone, which is a stagnant, enjoyable position. Okay? We must find comfort in being uncomfortable. Find joy in being uncomfortable, to where if it's like a kid in the house. If it's too quiet, then something going on. Like everything too right in this motherfucker. Hey, scriptures tell you, woe unto you when men speak well of you, right? So that whole mentality of when everything good, it don't mean it's good, because we ain't supposed to be good right now. We under the curses. I gotta prove myself. You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't supposed to be working with me, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's a blessing, but I'm gonna scrutinize myself. Nah, something gotta get activated. I gotta go work on something. I gotta find some type of weakness, because when Satan come, he coming. Okay? So let's get these couple precepts that I had lined up, man. Hope Satan ain't fucking with my shit. Where we at? Yeah, so I want to get in 2 Corinthians 4:16 says, for this cause we faint not, but through our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day, which is talking about our spiritual man. You know what I'm saying? We our bodies are just dwindling. We're getting older. Time passes. We're dying daily, but our spirit is renewed day by day. How is it renewed? Through we've been studying. I'm pretty sure brothers read the Bible 3-4 times more. You know what I'm saying? But you keep reading. The more you read, the more you find out new. You have to have that patience to suffer through things. Because everything ain't supposed to be easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would do it. Why you want to do something that's just easy? We dogs out here. We monsters. It ain't mean that in a negative way. I'm talking about we them boys, right? Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we have to live to a standard of that. Not, I'm that man because I think I am. No, I'm that man because the Lord chose me. And the Lord chose me, and this is what the Lord chose me to do. Watch this. And I'm going to do it to a maximum level that not too many people in this world can do, because the Lord chose me to do it, right? It says for verse 17, it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. That vainglory, I went wrong. You ain't had me messed up. No, I got life together. No, nigga, how you got life together? We're under curses. You know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to be figuring out things in these curses. The money with bags with holes. Some of it is a structure and a concept, but some of that is financial illiteracy, lack of responsibility and discipline and structure. Some things is us. Yeah, it's a system that's encouraging it, but a system can encourage undisciplined, whorish, nasty nature, hard-headed. You know what I'm saying? You got to go for what you know. No, bro. The Lord made man upright, but he sought out many inventions. And the inventions is most of the things that Jake catch on to that's of the world is really just pleasing to the flesh. Makes you feel good. See, okay, we back on. I was just making sure. I had to make sure. I thought it shut off on me, man. It be doing that sometimes, man. Satan be working, man. Be working in the trenches on you, boy. So, I want to go to the Zechariah 13:9. It says, I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Right? And that's what it is all about. We got to go through that fire. And that fire is affliction. And the affliction, when you go through that fire and, oh, you weak over here, gold is going to come out and say, you know, okay, I'm about to figure it out. And it's like, no, you can't. You're not disciplined. You're not structured. You're emotional. And that's definitely, and Satan's going to try that through your afflictions. Give you a woman that's going to fuck with you, or give you a boss that's going to fuck with you, or just a flat or some random shit. And you have, when you in that moment, you're supposed to be learning and educating yourself and overcoming. And then you're going to come out that fire a new, not just a new creature, but an improved creature, a person that constantly is growing and building. Okay? That's the most important thing. So when you go to refine, it means to smelt, refine, test, to smelt, refine, to test, and prove true. Smelter. So when it's like somebody saying, I beat your ass, then they get in a fight and they get dog walk. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just cap. You be popping off at the mouth. You know what I'm saying? So if we say we're a man of the Lord, Satan gonna test that. Hey, it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, let us see if they're men of the Lord. Let's try them and see if they really gonna stand. So what you think? You think that was just in Wisdom of Solomon? That's in our daily lives every day. And we supposed to be waking up in the morning, popping that mouthpiece, like yeah, I wish he would. I'm from the wishing nigga woods, man. Type of deal. If we're gonna have any type of pride, we're supposed to be having that King David versus Goliath pride, to where, hey man, the Lord got me. I can do this. So, but it comes through scrutiny. You won't be afraid to self-examine when you know you can overcome, because you built for this. But if you doubt yourself, you're gonna be afraid of it, or you put up this facade. Like had this one guy I was talking to, and he heard I fought. Right? He heard I fight. Well, I don't fight anymore. I don't fight actively, but he heard I fought, and he tried to come up with this whole concept of being this martial artist and a fighter. You scared to fight, bro. You just go in there and train to tell everybody else you train, so that you can get the persona of a person that's really about that. And it don't work, because when somebody actually put hands on you, it's going to produce a result. Right? So if you was a smart person, you example like, damn, I ain't never fought, but I'm always talking about fighting. I need to go fight and see if I can fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how it is, and it's true. We could say we'll die for this, or you can't test that. You tempt the Lord. But you get my point. You have to examine. So would I really die for this truth? All right, well, why is women a struggle? Well, why is these vices a struggle for me? Nothing should be a struggle for me, because death is the ultimate fucking end. How the hell you gonna crawl before you, or walk before you crawl, man? I do whatever, but you can't be reproved, or you can't learn something new. You just want to settle in that one spot. Nah, it don't work like that. We have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, man. And then when we overcome, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And one of the biggest overcomings is getting in this truth. And we all here, and we know how beautiful it was to being here, man. Our eyes open and being made free. But that's not the end. It's this constant, like, damn, you shouldn't be the same person 5 years ago. You shouldn't be cooking the same food. You shouldn't be into the same shit. The only thing that need to be consistent is our diligence and the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, our fire being lit to our purpose and our goal. That's the only thing that has to be consistent. Outside of that, like all that nigga shit, we supposed to be getting rid of that every day. And it's not easy, because old habits die hard. Old traumas are hard to break if you're not willing to really self-evaluate. So I just wanted to share that, man, in hopes of encouraging ourselves to not being afraid to examine ourselves in scrutiny, and facing scrutiny and facing failure, knowing that within that failure is an opportunity of growth. So with that being said, I want to say, call on Yabashim Yashai, Barakakadash, Yabashim Yashai, Bashim Kakadash, Brakathum, Shalom.